Hi, I'm Andy, and thank you for taking time to listen to me as I introduce to you some stories from a new book called City Lives, True Stories of Changed Lives from the Workplace. It's written by Marcus Nodder and it's produced by Ten of Those Publishing. If you'd like a copy, you can go to the Ten of Those website or you can contact us at Ballymoney Baptist Church. The details will be at the end of the video. We'll be happy to get your copy for yourself. Well, today I want to speak to you about a guy called Gavin Peacock. His chapter in the book begins with these words: life and death, and in between, football. It really is the case, isn't it, that some people just live for football. It's their God. And Gavin Peacock speaks about this being the case for him as he grew up, because he actually grew up in a footballing family. His dad was a professional footballer and he played for a club from London called Charlton Athletic. And so Gavin would actually follow in his father's footsteps in the years to come. By the age of 15, he played for England schoolboys at Wembley in front of 65,000 people. And 2 years later, by the age of 17, he had actually realised his boyhood dream of becoming a professional footballer whenever he signed for the London club Queen's Park Rangers. And he would go on then in subsequent years to play for other great clubs such as Newcastle United and Chelsea. And he was on Match of the Day practically every week of the year, at least during the season, as a player. But even after his career ended, he was on Match of the Day as a pundit, as a commentator. And I can well remember his last appearance because it was a rather sad occasion for the team on Match of the Day. And they were asking him why he was leaving the programme. And he explained that he was leaving in order to go and train to be a gospel preacher and a church pastor. You see, Gavin Peacock was more than merely a professional footballer. He was a Christian. He was a disciple and a follower of Jesus Christ. So you may be wondering, well, how did that happen? Well, actually, we have to backpedal and go right back to the very beginning of his football career. He had achieved his dream of becoming a professional, and yet he speaks that very shortly afterwards, he began to realize that it wasn't fulfilling the dreams of his heart, that wasn't making him happy deep inside. And he actually decided one Sunday evening to go to a church nearby where he lived to the meeting, and he went into the meeting, and afterwards the minister invited him along to a youth meeting in his home, and there he met lots of young Christians, and he says they prayed together and they talked together about Jesus, and he was quite interested in them. He realized that they had something that he didn't have. And so this began a journey for him over a number of weeks. He heard the good news and he talked about this good news of what God had done for people like him through the death and resurrection of his son, Jesus Christ, who came to rescue us from our condemnation. And he speaks then about turning away from his sin in order to trust in Jesus. Now, there's a very appropriate passage in the Bible which he actually references in his chapter in the book, and it says this: you, that is, speaking about Christians, you turn to God from idols to serve the living and true God, and to wait for his Son from heaven, whom he raised from the dead, Jesus, who rescues us from the coming wrath. That is what Gavin Peacock did. I wonder, have you?